Hello, and welcome to another Daily Code Fun. I am One Lion, and all of you are amazing. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Losing track of time. Losing track of time. How are you? Whoa. Whoa. Dark mode enabled. Dukasoft says 11 Lion. Hello, Dukasoft. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And anyone else who happens to be here and lurking, welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic day and you get to chill some with me. We're going to be working through some testing today. We're actually going to do it right. We're going to jump right in because, as has been for the past week or 2 weeks, I have another engagement directly after the stream. It's actually going to be at 1 o'clock. So we should be able to go the whole time, but I will be performing an interview for just performing an interview. I don't know what to call it. I will be conducting the interview, hosting the interview, doing the interview. So yeah, we were in the middle of getting our first test started so that we can try out setting up a test-driven development approach. And one thing that we need as we're doing this is our dependency injection stuff. So I may as well go ahead and set up the main applications to have their dependency injection for this iTransaction service that we created. It's a generic, so it's going to be an interesting thing that if you haven't seen it before, and if I remember how to do it correctly and I do it right the first time, it's going to be kind of odd to you for doing dependency injection using a generic. So let me get one more thing set up. Awesome. Greatness. All right, so let's set this up for dependency injection. So we're going to have two different implementations of this iTransaction entry service, maybe three, depending on what we end up doing with the Blazor Hybrid application, as far as how it accesses services and stuff. But right now, we're only focused on the Blazor WebAssembly and Blazor server. Hold on one second. Looks like my keyboard's a little tired. There you go. Have some power. And since we're only focusing on WASM and server, we're only going to do those two implementations. And I believe we have this transaction service T model, all of which should say not implemented exception, which is true. And then for the client, which is in the client project, I haven't created it yet, that'd be a transaction entry service. And it's going to be exactly the same thing. Oops. Great, grand, fantastic, wonderful, marvelous. So those two are now there, which means that we want to do our client-side service, which I still want to do as an extension. I wonder if I should go ahead and create a shared client library now that I'm going to have two potential clients that would be using API requests to get data. Yeah, let's plan for that. So let's add a new project. It's going to be a shared class library. And that would be man, shared client. Have I broken these out into folders? I keep asking every time because my work project, I have everything in their respective folders. And then in this project, I have everything in the solution directory directly in it. It looks like. So we'll go with that. Next, create. And we most likely will go through and organize the folder structure. All right, so we're going to do service says. Nope. I just drag and drop that one up there. Hello, Jim. Thank you for the quick stop by. Things are going great. We are going to be moving on to our first set of tests for. Let me read off his whole message. He says, "Hello, just a quick stop by. How are things going? How's the project going? How are your studies and day job going? How are you?" That is a lot of things that I can answer. But yeah, so the project is going great so far. We are going to pick up the pieces and jam because we like jazz. Um, do we though? Yeah, we're just gonna do this testing stuff. The day job is fantastic. Right now I'm on a work stoppage for my primary project, but I'm still doing things for the actual company that I work for. So I work for Sagetti, and again, my views and opinions are my own and may not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Sagetti. Um, but the client that we're working for just has a temporary work stoppage for the financials for the end of year stuff so that they can balance their books and make sure that they have everything in order. So pretty much all contractors are just paused for now. And then I'll get back to it in 2 weeks. But that project is going great. We are already well into integrating the user interface redesign that I implemented. So I didn't design it myself. I had a fantastic designer give me a whole bunch of screens through Figma, and they look amazing. And all I had to do was take that, put it into a Blazor UI Razor class library, and hook it up. And now we're working on hooking it up to the actual logic to the existing application. And now you can switch between the original UI that they had in the application and two different versions of the UI that I put together using Blazor, and it's so cool. And you can do it at runtime. It switches super easily and cleanly. No, I don't think Figma can export directly to Blazor. I didn't really even use the CSS, copy to CSS or whatever it's called. The only thing that I really grabbed from Figma were the SVGs for icons and other resources that they used, and the colors. So they gave me a color palette, and then I turned that into a SAS, pretty much what I do here. Do I even have one of those in here? Where's my Blazor UI? Let me write this out real quick. This was a I forget what it's called. Lookup list service. Yeah, we'll start with that. I'm pretty sure that's what I called it. Dang, lookup item service. Apply. Okay. So here's my Blazor UI. SAS. So I have this file here, and this file is going to be all of my color variables. So like when I do theming, what I typically do is I create a whole bunch of SAS variables to hold the value of all of these colors. So I don't know what teal is, but you know, some kind of fairy tale color. It's so hard to make teal. Ooh, getting there. A little too green. Oh. Anyway, it's somewhere around here. So anyway, I would put all of the colors in a color variables file with their names, and when I'm ready to put them into the application, I use root, and then I name a whole bunch of CSS variables, and I usually point them to For example, the SAS color like so. And that way, when I'm ready to theme it, when I'm ready to change themes so that you can change it at runtime, then all you have to do is create another theme class. So let's say this is dark theme. And then I can override that color, which was something like primary, whatever. Primary background color will be black, primary text color white, whatever. So point is that I just update the values of the CSS colors and I apply this to regardless of whether we're using Blazor WebAssembly, Blazor Server, or Maui, to the index body. So this would get a body of iLookup item, obviously, dark theme, and then that would change essentially all of the colors that are used throughout the app without needing to do any specific CSS updates other than reassigning CSS variables, and that's it. So simple. So simple. So young. So anyway, I did that. And that's how I'm also able to switch color themes. And then the way that I switch the actual app theme is my UI project is the thing that has app.razor in it, but I have two other Razor class libraries that are the skins. So if I need to do major rearranging of the actual layout of the elements and maybe even the content itself, I would put them in separate class libraries and then have a shared component library for anything that both of them share so that that can be reused regardless of which skin you use. And so when the application starts, so let's look at Blazor WebAssembly, for example, you feed it which of these Razor components to use as the main thing to put as the content of the page. So I use my skin switcher, and inside of here, depending on what theme is selected, that tells us which layout to use and which assembly to use to find the routable pages. We can get more into that if we want to try skinning this thing a couple different ways later on. But yeah, you've installed simple getting started Blazor on Replit. Yeah, you can definitely put links in here. Don't worry about needing to split them up. I do like Replit. That's cool stuff. Yeah, yeah. And I think it's a Progress product. Does that sound right? No, Progress has their own, or Telerik, I guess, has their own implementation of this. Where you can essentially just write code in the browser. No, in the browser. You can load. And pretty much write out your component. You can even have multiple files if you wanted to. It looks a little bit different now. But anyway, you can add files, you can add CSS, and then you can run it and see what it would look like. That's interesting. It looks a little bit different than I remember it looking. Yeah, good stuff. I love that you can. It's really easy as long as you. It's really easy as long as you have an internet connection to get started with writing software. You can go to a browser and start coding in their online code editors. Don't even need to download anything. Um, and then Visual Studio itself, while it's kind of cumbersome for someone just getting started, it still has so many helpful tools, and there are plenty of tutorials and resources out there to help you get started with Visual Studio even. So I just love how easily accessible it is to get started with coding. I would love to encourage anyone who even has just that somewhere way back here. It'd be cool if I could write code, even if it's just to look cool. I love watching people enjoy themselves writing software, watching a thing happen on their screen. They put words on the screen and then something happens on the screen and they're like, oh, that was really cool. I want to do more. And just keep encouraging you. Of course. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so we have one service in here. And Jim says, that's what I did. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, and I just keep in mind that even if this is something that people are now expecting of you, if that's the only reason that you keep going, then maybe it isn't something that you want to do. But if you find that you are enjoying what you're doing, like, yes, it's hard, yes, it's a struggle, but somehow you still get something out of it for yourself. I encourage that, but of course, if you're just working on trying to impress people, trying to get a job, also a valid reason. There's just any number of reasons that would keep you going, but to me, my one opinion is that you should only do it if it is something that you feel like pursuing for whatever your end goal is or current feeling is. And I'll encourage you and I'll cheer you on. Hello, Disco. Disco, disco, what am I doing? I am listening at hotmail.com. No, seriously. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm creating a class that's going to be a static class for my shared client library. And it's going to have all of my dependency injection, service configuration, everything is going to happen in this file. So that all that I have to do is reference it in anything that would be using the client project. And again, I don't know if the Maui one will be referencing this one for its implementations. I'm assuming we will. And you installed ASP.NET 6 Blazor WebAssembly on Replit.com, and it worked. Awesome. Yeah, so that is one part of our project. If you want to go into any details about it, feel free to ask. We are here. I don't want or need to impress anyone. I just enjoy doing what I do, and then word of mouth, I get projects. Fantastic, yeah. So if I'm not trying to say if, I like the approach of this is just something I happen to really enjoy doing. And at the same time, I'm also getting paid to do it, which is cool. But the reason that I do it is because I really enjoy it. I think that I might, like, I have a very small opportunity to be a lead on a new project that would involve using Java and other non.NET technologies for the entire stack, like Angular and Java and JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, not just TypeScript with Angular and all that. But it's not something that I really enjoy, but it has kind of a pretty big value assigned to it. Add client services. Install package. This iService. So it's really difficult because I was claimed to be someone who is not motivated by money, but like if you put a big enough dollar amount on a project and it's in something that I'm relatively comfortable with, then yeah, I'll do it. But still wouldn't be my preference. And if it ends up being something that just hurts and is too much not good stress, then it's like I'm gonna seek another way to do what I enjoy doing and still be able to maintain the lifestyle I want. Okay, so let's see if I can remember how to do that. Oh, wait, Pajit is here. Hello, hello, Pajit, and we are back, folks. Welcome back. I hope you're doing fantastic today. Yeah, if it helps pay the bills, then I often have to make trade-offs. Exactly. So yeah, there is a balance to it. Okay, okay, so here we go. We're gonna see if I remember quite how to add services. This is gonna be scoped because it's gonna be for this, yeah, it's not possible. We would always be doing this in the client. Hmm. We're gonna have to really consider this. When we do HTTP clients, those are usually scoped. So on the client side for a WASM app, we know that we're going to be doing our requests using HTTP requests. So do we want this thing to be scoped with the HTTP client, or do we want this to be transient? And then we can use the HTTP client factory so that we make sure that we get a non-exhausted HTTP client, which is going to be hard to do with this kind of project, but it at least protects against that. Jim is asking Dukasoft, what are you programming / working on? Do you do hardware too? And then he asks me, now that you have the 2 weeks off from your regular day job, what projects are you catching up on? How are your Microsoft studies going? So that's exactly what I'm working on, is studying for the certification exam. I scheduled it for this upcoming Sunday. So I'm going to be cramming for the rest of the week. I do have an effort. So like Sagetti will use their resources when they can. And right now, since I am whoa, simple game dev. No, I wasn't even paying attention. I was on your stream. I was lurking on your stream, but I didn't notice that you were heading over to raid me. You were so quiet today. At least I had you turned down just a bit. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Simple Game Dev watchers and viewers. Isn't he amazing? Guys, if you don't know Simple Game Dev, you got to check out his stream. We're going to do a quick video shout out because this thing is awesome.
Oh shit.
Bye.
This happened.
Jeez. So I don't know if you could see those graphics, but they look amazing. That's his game, Artificial. Check it out on Steam. It looks so good. It is in the spirit of Valve type games, so Half-Life, Portal. It's got puzzles in it, and it's got that gritty environment, and there's this mystery that you're solving, or not really mystery, but you're kind of going through your space station life as a mechanic, I think, or some kind of repair person, and you're being guided through it, and you think it's just a normal failure, and then the plot thickens, and oh, it's cool. It's really cool, and watching him work is so much fun. So if you get the chance to see him, he streams multiple times a day, taking breaks like he should. Something I need to learn how to do, but and Apocalypse is here. Hello, Apocalypse. Yeah, no problem. Enjoy your family, and thank you so much for the raid. You know I appreciate you. Don't ever feel like you owe me anything or you have to be here for any specific amount of time. I appreciate you just showing up and saying hi. It's super nice. So I guess to finish what I was saying real quick, Sagetti will use their consultants in whatever roles they have available, and they try to keep you busy, of course. And it's like I know how to keep myself busy, but I'm going to be conducting an interview today for one of the college grads that they're wanting to see if they're a good fit for our college grad program. And yeah, that's going to be fun. And by fun, I mean I don't want to do interviews anymore. I used to work in human resources. Belinda is here. Hello, Belinda. Hello, Belinda. Singing a song. I was lurking on your stream as well yesterday, but I had to have my sound off because I was extremely busy yesterday for a long time. A long time. Yeah, I believe that's the one. Let's see, us.suggetti. That is them. Absolutely. Hope all is good, sir. Or all is okay good. Not just good, okay good. Yes, absolutely is. Um, yeah. Yeah, so we are seeing if I remember how to do dependency injection with generic types. Oh, I'm so terrible at reading. So Belinda's like, I meant you are the good sir. Oops. Hope all is okay, good sir. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so I think the only thing that we should have to do in order to not have to provide a concrete class when we're trying to do our dependency injection here is describe it like this. No? Oh, that's not how you do it. Okay, so then I don't remember. Poop. Where are my localizations? This is shared localization. Yes. A comma does change the context in most sentences, even this one that is a run-on sentence. Oh my goodness. No extensions is what I'm looking for. Too localized. Oh, that's not even my dependency injection extensions. Well, fine. I have to look it up. I don't remember. I thought that it was as simple as just putting angle brackets without specifying the type. It's probably something. Let me see if it's something like this. Type of type of. Oh wait, did I have? Oh no, no I didn't. Um, options, arrows. Nope, not gonna remember. Jim is wondering if anyone is doing any game jams. So I know that Irish John Games has the Journ Jam going on. There was another one that I can't think of. So I'm not a game dev. It would be nice to one day be able to join them because I want to pick up some game dev skills, and that's why I watch people like Simple Game Dev and Irish John Games and all of the fantastic people that are currently doing game development. Yeah, that's what I have, isn't it? Or am I? Oh, oh, oh. Thank you, Tyron. I had my parentheses were wrong. Tyron is here, and hello, Hugin. I have seen you around, most likely on Blitstream. Welcome to the Daily Code Fun. As you can tell, I am a software developer, so I guess for those of you that have not met me before, I'm working for a consulting agency as a senior consultant. I predominantly do .NET development, so I love Blazor, I love C Sharp, and it's so much fun for me. But I am, of course, open to do any kind of software development. I love to encourage people to pick up software development if you have that small inkling that just says, hey, it'd be cool if. That's one of my favorite phrases, by the way. Um, yeah, Sogeti is a subsidiary of Capgemini. So yeah, what we are working on. So let me start here. When I started streaming, I was working for the Rocky Mountain Arsenal in Denver, Colorado, or close to Denver, Colorado, Commerce City, actually. And I, COVID happened. I had been wanting to stream for a while, and then COVID happened, and so we were fully remote. And the reason that I wanted to stream, even though I am highly introverted and I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to interacting with people, even over camera communication like this, so I'm pretty much a ball of anxiety every single time that I stream, but that's okay because I still get to interact with other developers. So I'd been a solo developer for a really long time, and then I had a junior developer when I came to the job at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. Switched out a couple of times, but I didn't have a more senior developer that I could communicate with, industry professionals that I could hook up with, get some ideas from, understand what the actual processes are, and everything was just a whole bunch of just learning. I can't think of the word. Kinesthetic learning? No. Anyway, just learning by following tutorials and trying to find answers for myself. And then anytime that I tried to go to forums and other other places where you would think you have some developers that are happy to help you out, I got reamed and berated, degraded, and I didn't enjoy that experience. So I was like, you know what? I've seen people stream before, and I've seen that there are a lot of really cool people that show up on streams. There's a lot of trolls too, but I took my chances and started streaming, and a whole bunch of really, really cool people started showing up. So I'm really happy with this community. I'm glad that you guys are here. COVID is the best thing made the lion stream. And since I had time. So point is that while I was working at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, I started streaming my day job. So I was at work doing my job, streaming the code that I worked on for the job. And I was able to do that. There wasn't anything secret. There wasn't anything that needed to be protected or anything like that. Except for, of course, keys and stuff, passwords and everything that if I showed it on stream, ops. So we got to enjoy that for a while, where it was full 8 hour day streaming, 6 hours, I guess. But then I got a new job, and so I had to cut back on my streaming, and I wasn't able to stream any of my actual job, any of the work that I do for my job. So I'm like, how about if I just continue doing a project that is .NET related, especially using the latest Blazor, latest Maui, latest .NET technologies, so that we can keep exploring it and learning together and having fun. So that's why we're doing this financial management app. And I think Dukasoft may have already. Nope. Nope, he hasn't. Can I beat him to it? So we've been working on this financial management app. Of course I can, because delay. Cheater, cheater. So if you want to take a look at what this is all about, feel free to head over to the GitHub repo at github.com/onelion financial-management. And you can see the videos that I've posted to YouTube. from our live streams. They're long, they are unedited, they don't have music because I didn't want to have the music carry over to YouTube and then get copyright, whatever it's called, copyright claims and strikes and stuff. But I started off with all of the Maui stuff that we were exploring and failing at it, and then I was just like, you know what, let's go to an actual project and start working on that. So we're now working on the financial management tracker project, and we're trying to employ all of the good DevOps that we know, including source control, branch strategy, uh, except that we're not doing all of the possible branches like in an agile approach. So we don't have a development. Well, I guess all of our branches are development branches. Feature branch. What else am I missing? A test branch? I don't know. I'm missing a few branches. There's like 6 total branches in the um, agile approach. But yeah, we're just doing one feature branch essentially, and then once we make sure that that works, we merge it into master, which should be called main. It's called main now. 15 minutes ago, though, so it's time for another. Crap, I said a lot of words, and I have no idea what the 15 minutes ago is in reference to. I'm sorry. I lost track. Oh, 15 minutes ago is when you did Bang Project. Oh, yeah, there it is. Right when Pajit came in. Well, thank you. So you did beat me. Yay! I like coming in second, by the way, after trying really, really hard to come in first. But I have to give it my all. And then I feels bad when I get first sometimes. Such a weirdo. So many weird things. Anyway, so we have prepared our transaction entry service to be for any generic type that we want. And so now in our test over here, we need to use this. Actually, no, we don't. Well, floppy pants. So the only thing that our transaction entry service is going to do on the client side is call an API endpoint. The one that we actually want to do the testing on is the server side implementation. So we need to prepare that one, which is in shared server. Shift F2. Sextensions. I can't even spell extensions. Service extensions, which is where we get sextensions from. And we go static. Same thing. Public static iService collection. I just pushed spacebar. Add server services. This iService collection. Services. Yay! It remembered from my most recent setup of this that I wanted to inject my generic iTransaction service interface and use my server side implementation of the generic, and also have an extra closing curly brace. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much. Free curly braces for everyone today. You get a curly brace. You get a curly brace. Okay, that's all a joke. So, I still need to set up right, the client side and the server side for the dependency injection. So on the server side, I am going to go to just before the builder.build and do builder services, not server side Blazor, add server services. And so now anytime we have a new service, instead of needing to go to all of the places where we need to dependency inject it, so let's say we had multiple projects, maybe I have a separate API that takes these same server-side services, or I have an MVC application or a Razor Pages application. I would just put this one statement in there and get all of the server-side implementations of the services that I need for the application to run. Super simple. And Tommy is here. Hello, Tommy. Just got here. There's even a curly lurking. Awesome timing, says Dukasoft. Cool. So there is our server side, and so here's our client side, which is close add client services. And so it's going to be the same as our state management, where state management is another thing that's getting dependency injected. But for any extra states that I add, I just put them in this file or in that method. And then I don't have to worry about going to all of the possible places. So for example, this is also used in the Maui program. So you can see them here. And that way I only need to update it in one place, and it's going to affect everything that uses those services. So now let's go over to our testices. So for our testices, this is where it gets tough for me. So I don't know what the actual approach is for this, but we don't actually dependency inject the services into a constructor. We have some kind of initialization step, which I guess we can still put the initialization in the constructor. I put prep. But we don't actually try to dependency inject it. I wonder if this is the approach that we're supposed to use. This looks right. Because I think this is how it's done in a WPF application, where you create your own service provider. But the question is, when you do that, do you service provider is nullable? Interesting. Do you keep track of the service provider as well? Excited to be moving back into .NET and C#, honestly. Awesome. Jim was asking Dukasoft question about Discord bots. Are they IRC related? And Dukasoft says not sure about that one. I'm not that good with remembering names of stuff. Sorry. So if you want to know some information about Discord bots, yesterday Visual Studio Channel put was doing a live presentation on building Discord bots using .NET and Azure. And so you might be able to get information about your question from this video somewhere. I know that Twitch chat is IIRC, but the Twitch bot, the only thing that I know about about Discord bots is they give you the option of using webhooks or something else. Discord bot webhook versus API, maybe? I don't remember it being API. Yeah, if it's anything like Twitch, then you would use webhooks for any events that happen in Discord that you want your application to listen for, and you would use the API to send messages to Discord to get information. So, for example, if a user sends a message in Discord on a specific channel, then you're subscribed to it using a webhook. You get that message in your app, and then you say, I want to know more about this user that submitted, so go to the API and give me that user's information. I believe you also, oh wow, you can also send messages using webhook. I would have thought that that was an API thing as well. Oh, I'm sorry. I did close. I was trying to tell you where it was and actually create the link for it so I could share it in chat. But this is on the .NET channel on YouTube. I don't know if they post VODs. I don't think they do. They might have. Yeah, it's also a VOD on their Twitch channel, the Visual Studio Twitch channel. And Dukasoft says, I can tell you that I'm using the discord.net. And I think that I bookmarked that one for the stream. GitHub.com. GitHub. Discord.net. Discord.net. Kind regards, says Jim, and thank you. Jim F. Jim F. Jim F. Did I type it wrong? Discord-net. Oh, one line. Because everything on GitHub belongs to me. All your base are belong to us. Yeah, let me just make sure. Yeah, it should be in here already. But just in case, I rebookmarked it like 2 more times. Oh, 3 times. Fantastic. Oh, right. So then the other thing is that it's pretty much, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to see if this actually works. It'll be really interesting to find out. So let's right click and run tests, which gives me my tests explorer. Hopefully we hit this breakpoint so that I can find out if we have a transaction deposit service or not. Building. Unexpected error detected, which is probably that it could not do this step here. So let me run it again. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, I love that. I want to fail more often so I can hear that more often. All right, so let's see if we even get this far. Test finish, one failed. All right, let's investigate what the actual failure is before I keep trying to assume, and let's just get the actual answer. Yes. Oh man, I love it. Oh, oh, it worked. So why didn't it, um, oh, because I'm not debugging the tests. I'm just running the test. So yeah, we made it that far and we got new not implemented exception thrown. So the test is working both times. Or, it's successfully So hard when it comes to tests. There we go. Now we're going to hit the breakpoints like I was expecting. um, and we do have a transaction entry service of deposit entry view model. And we are hitting the test, and the test is successfully failing. So much fun to say. Okay, so we need to write the actual test that we want. And so that would be using those. Generally, it's usually 3 steps. And I love, this is Visual Studio Community Edition. This is all of the free stuff that you get. I wrote a test for this method, and I get CodeLens that tells me you have a test on this method and it's failing. What? We get that for free? Back in, what was it, 1684, when they were first coming out with tests, and they were like, you know what, if you want to be able to see more information about the test, you're going to have to buy premium wood chipper so that you can take it all apart. Those were the days, though. Those were good days. I liked them. Times were simpler then. Yeah, it should be Community Edition. I uninstalled all of my Enterprise editions except for 2019. So yeah, Community 2022 Preview, which is right here, and Community 2022 Regular, which has an update. It has an update. Man, I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, it's definitely a part of Community. Like the thing that you don't get as part of CodeLens in Community that you do get in Enterprise is Git blame, or just blame in general. But you still get references, you get tests. Oh, this is so cool. Good question, Jim. That is a very valid question these days. So his question is, do you use Newtonsoft for processing your JSON? I've been trying really hard to use the recommended system.text.json because that is what your responses are set to use regardless of what you do in your MVC application. And there is no way for your HTTP client to be configured with a Newtonsoft that I'm aware of. Okay, so I'm making this really, really big claim that there is no way, and that's probably a lie. But all of the references and resources that I found pointed to the fact that you can't set up your HTTP client on your Blazor WebAssembly client side to use Newtonsoft to deserialize whatever responses you get from the server. When using something like HTTP, so like what this thing should be on the client side, let me just show that real quick. So on the client side, this would be something like CTOR. No, not again. This was happening yesterday. Hi, Scott. So Scott posted, awesome, a resource to see the current differences. I hope this is current. Yeah, the current differences between Newtonsoft and system.txt. So the main one that I would scroll to right away is being able to see object creation stuff. Or type name. That's what it is. Type name stuff. And the reason that I would want to have all of these extra attributes to the JSON is because I'm often setting up my return types to be interfaces, and I don't want to have to write a custom deserializer for those interfaces. And so what I would want to do is say, when you serialize this object, keep track of what the concrete type is that you're serializing, so that when we're on the deserializing part, it can read what concrete type it's supposed to be, and then deserialize to that. I'm sure that there's a way to do it with attributes. Not really sure. I'm assuming there's a way to do it with attributes. This used to be a big one, which is the reference loop handling, which is, here is an object, it has a child object, and that child object references the parent object in some way, and so it keeps trying to serialize by references. But they finally set it up so that system.text can handle reference looping, where it just reuses the same reference instead of trying to say serialize the object again. Yeah, so it has gotten a lot better though. Preserve references handling. I don't think I've ever used that. Yeah, they've added even more stuff than the last time I looked. Yeah. Anyway, so Jim was also asking, does system.text.json work well with bson as well? And it's weird. I say bson even though I say JSON. It could still be bson or bison. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't really worked with bson. I would assume so because it is pretty standard. So I don't really know much about how it handles bson. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna fall into that trap of not being able to know what to call it, and I'll just go back and forth every time. System.text.json bson. There was an issue open December 23rd. Has it been resolved? Locked is resolved. We don't have plans to support this format at the moment, February 2020. That's Newtonsoft. JSON.net. Yeah, I mean, you would assume so, because isn't a lot of the stuff returned by some of the Cosmos DB engines bson? That is the wonder. Okay, so I was trying to give this some time to process on its own, but it's not gonna. Whoa, it stole my mouse. My mouse is gone. Okay, I think it just needs to be cleaned. Let's assume that's the case. Does anyone know where I put my pencil? It done gone off and ran away. It's okay though. These things get disgusting. Hello, prog testing. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Keeping yourself busy. Oh, this is so nasty. There's skin, dust, probably dust mites. Ugh. Net 7 with Wasm. I have just picked up herbs to make spices out of. What kind? What kind? Homegrown spices, man. And I'm doing more JavaScript. Awesome. I hope you're having fun with it and that it is accomplishing all the things that you want to get done. Oh, is that what they're currently talking about on the Visual Studio channel? Um, all right, let's get this project reopened. So when I first opened Visual Studio this morning, I made sure to move it onto this screen and then close it in case it decided to crash again all day long like it had been doing, so that when I reopen it, it will reopen on this window. Move. Yeah, I'll be watching. Well, I don't know if I'll be watching the bot after because, again, I have that interview to do after the stream today. Not my. No one is interviewing me. I'm not trying to get a new job or anything like that. I am conducting an interview. It's so hard to say that in English because we use the same phrase for I am doing an interview, meaning someone will be interviewing me for a job, or I will be doing an interview, meaning I will be interviewing someone else. Sally the Goose is here. Hello, hello, Sally. Saying to prog testing, are you using Blazor for that? For the lemon, thyme, sage, parsley, and tarragon? I think he's using a mortar. Um, that's terrible. Yeah, are you actually using a Blazor project for your JavaScript stuff? Interesting to hear and know. Oh, look, it's the arrange step. And are you going to write my assert for me? I don't think they're going to be equal, though. Oh, right, right. Right, 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 right. Assert true. Actually, do I even want to check for this? I don't think this is a thing that I want to check for unless it's going to be by itself. I kind of remember that you don't want to have multiple asserts that would prevent each other from indicating the actual thing that happens. So this would be something like get all deposit entries uh, was not error. I don't know. Like we would want to use my result.was error to test in an instance when I want this thing to actually error and generate the add error or perform the response model.add error method, any one of these, that we do get a was error. So that's not what we're testing here. Here we're testing to make sure that when we perform this and we add it to our repository, that we get back all of the items that we're expecting to get back. So prog testing said plain JavaScript and HTML for an eShop. And Jim also said to prog testing sounds like a seasoning for chicken or fish. It sounds like a tasty seasoning. But then prog testing also said, or first Sally said, Oh, I thought you were using Wasm and processing said I got tired of the slow Blazor WebAssembly and remade an app in plain JavaScript HTML. I used to be a Blazor WebAssembly fanboy, but not anymore. Yeah, so he had some really good insight about how slow delivering a Blazor WebAssembly app, serving a Blazor WebAssembly app is in places with low internet connectivity. So that initial 10 seconds even is way too much time for anyone that is expecting a website to be delivered to their mobile device, to their computer, and they think that the website is just not responsive and move on and then don't use the app because it doesn't work. So hopefully with .NET 7, they are doing a lot to improve that initial delivery experience, to include ahead of time compilation, to include maybe allowing the resources to load server rendered first, and then once it's once the WebAssembly portion of it is actually loaded, then display the content from the WebAssembly. So really looking forward to seeing what they do with it. But I still think they're going in the right direction, and it's going to do it. I mean, they're going to get to it. So here's what I don't know how to do. And I remember having a discussion about this before, but this will be my first time setting up anything to do with mocking. And so I need to mock my repository so that when I perform the service here, which will get most likely an IDB context factory of, do I not have, oh, this is the interface. I need the implementation, please. You are client. Try again. All right, try that again. IDB context factory of, what's the name of our database? Finan man context. DB context factory, create and assign. So we will be dependency injecting this IDB context factory, which means in our testing library, we need to mock this DB context database. Tikasoft says, I would love if they got that to work. Server first while loading, then while downloading, then WASM. So we're kind of mocking that. We're faking it in, let me turn this off real quick. In our app, .NET. Nope, we got to move to the right folder first. .NET Watch. Magic. Magic. So that looked like the application was loaded right away. There was no loading in the top left corner, authorizing all of that stuff. It was just, here's your page, but you saw that the login thing wasn't here until the WASM part actually finishes loading, because I took the rendered version of this page, the HTML, and I just stuffed it in my index div ID app. And so this is just static content that is what my landing page looks like. Dirty cheater. But this doesn't work if you are in one of the inner pages and you try to refresh and it shows you the landing page for a second until WASM is loaded, and then it takes you to that page, which is not expected behavior when you're navigating the web. You go somewhere like github.com/onelion and you get One Lion's profile page or One Lion's main page, as opposed to seeing for however long it takes to load this page, this, and then my page. Is anyone going to hang out in the community hangout tonight? So I won't be, because again, I will be conducting that interview, and then I'll still be studying for the exam that I am taking this weekend. Another reminder, um, on Friday in the evening, I will be finding out whether or not I have jury duty. Then I need to report to on Monday. So we might not have a stream on Monday, depending on whether I will be expected to appear to find out whether I'm going to be selected for jury duty as well. So we'll find out. We'll play it all by ear next week. I'm really glad this is happening during the work stoppage. And if I do get selected for jury duty, it's not going to be that big of an interruption for my work product, because next week is still another week where I am not supposed to be working on the work product. So I'm really happy about that, but I also hate it. I hate it. Okay, let's set up our DB context factory for now so that I can test the application as needed. So that's going to be in my server, shared server project. Let's create an extension for add DB contexts. Uh, Set up. So I don't want to use the same name as what is already in the extensions. So if you look at Entity Framework, you'll see that they have an add DB context. So I'm going to do setup DB contexts. And that's simply going to return services.add DB context factory finan man context options option. Oh, we don't need curly braces for this one because it's just chained. Options.use school server, and inside of there we have two things that we want to set up. Two things? Really? Are you sure? I think you're thinking of the DB context for migrations project. I don't think I I think you're a little confused, sir. Talking to myself, of course. Options dot no, configuration. Right. I configuration config dot connection strings, get connection string DB context. Is that what I called it? Anyone? Anyone? I didn't call it anything because it's not in here. Oh no. It's every single time that I hit carriage return after the opening curly brace and then start trying to type. Tommy says, I see. Wait, where are you? What? I don't have any jokes. I mean, I have one joke, which is the mom joke. I have no quotes. I have nothing. I have nothing. I'll get better at having a bot once things calm down. It's been super busy. We don't need curly braces for this one. So then Tommy said, I see. I'll see my way out. His name, by the way, for those of you on YouTube that are wondering why that's funny, is Curly Brace. His name is Curly Brace. Curly Brace. Es Tommy. Es Tommy, who is our cousin, co-worker. We got Cousin Tickles, who is Broken Sword's actual cousin. We got Tommy, who we're calling our cousin because he's family. I think he went to the same boot camp as Broken Sword. Is that what it was? Or did you two work together? Irish John Games is here and Dukasoft with the shout out for Rise of Piracy. Holy cow. He is on top of this. So good. So good at this. So, yes to both. They worked together before the boot camp and they went to the same coding boot camp together. Awesome. Yeah, Dukasoft for mod of the year without being an actual mod. He's amazing. He's so cool. But anyway, if you guys don't know Irish John Games, another fantastic streamer. I was talking about him earlier, talking about how I love watching him work in Unity, and now that he's like, I don't know if it's like entirely or completely, but I think he's all in on Rise of Piracy so that he can get it delivered by the end of the year. It's just so cool watching him do what he does. And Rise of Piracy looks amazing, so definitely check it out. There's a link to the Steam page, and as he keeps mentioning, let's say that you go to the Steam page and you don't feel like logging in. There is a button down here that says Open in Steam, so that it'll just open in your existing Steam client, and it makes it easier than trying to log in and get your Steam Guard code and blah, 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 blah. So just do that. It's easy. Click on that. Click wishlist. And keep watching for more updates. Check out his stream when you can. It's such good times on his stream. I've been lurking a lot, Irish John. I mean Jern. I mean John. Since all of this extra stuff happened that I got involved with, but I haven't been able to say anything. I'm afraid to say stuff because, like, there's just so much going on. But I'm always there, cheering you on from the shadows. I'm the best non-mod mod. Hmm. And of course, I make sure to lurk in a way that you get credit for me being a viewer. I did. I was there the day he got his haircut. It was a Wednesday? Nobody gets their haircut on a Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. It was last Tuesday or Wednesday. And same with Captain Commerce's stream. I try to lurk, but silly meetings get in the way, and sometimes I forget. No worries at all. I joined your stream last night about an hour in. But yeah, another amazing streamers. So let me do a shout out for Irish John Games. I will get you guys some real shout outs. I know that I have captains, but I don't have a good one for Irish John Games. I don't have a good. At least I have the Rise of Piracy Steam page, which is pretty important. So I hope that that is helpful for you, because I want to see you succeed. I want to see Rise of Piracy succeed. I want to see a million people playing it, and I want to see it grow to multiplayer levels. It would be so cool if you get there, of course. No stress. Single player campaigns are still super fun. And Jim says, I found you through Coding with Scott, and he shouted out your stream, and now I'm here. I'm participating in chat. Awesome. So Coding with Scott is another. So he doesn't stream often, from what I can tell, but he is a streamer, and his streams are really good. I love seeing knowledgeable people streaming. And ignore automated realms. Ignore my bot. It thinks that I don't know how to. That we don't have a way to do shoutouts yet, but I'll update it soon enough. It's sitting right here, and because I have that command shoutout turned off, it's like I can't let you do that, but it's like Stream Elements knows how to do it. I just haven't told it how to look up the user ID to get the broadcaster ID, to get the channel name. But once I do, then that'll work. I just haven't spent any time on it. I don't even have that. The only thing that I have for that is stream elements is commands. You'll see that the majority of them are disabled, but that's because they are handled by my custom bot. And actually, does it show the disabled commands? Yeah. So like massage, no, massage pain is not disabled currently. Yeah, it's not showing stuff like GitHub, for example, or project. So you can't see the disabled commands in here because Automated Realms is handling them. What bot did I use? I just used Twitch client, Twitch Lib. Sorry. That's awesome. Dukasoft just did his massage paint, and he's been watching for 22 days and 22 hours. I better get some sleep. Sleep is overrated. Captain Commerce has been watching for 1 month, 6 days, and 8 hours. Holy cow. That is a lot of time. That is a lot of time. Wait. Why didn't it let Jim do massage pain?
It's over 9,000!
What? I'm a junior watcher. But massage pain is available to everyone, right? Oh, wait. That would still be stream elements taking care of that. Where did that go? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? There it is. Okay. Who is allowed to do massage pain? Is this me? Yeah, take me to stream elements. Take me to chatbot. Custom. Everyone should be allowed to do massage pain. Oh, it did let you do it. I keep thinking that it didn't let you do it, but yeah. It's just because Automated Realm still thinks that it's disabled, but Stream Elements is still responding. Okay. So yours, yeah, it's but it still didn't give you a number. Oh yeah, it did. No, for your watch time it did. What? I'm confused. I really don't know why it didn't give you an amount. But yeah, one day I'll get the bot updated so that that command is run from Automated Realms. Same thing with ignoring the bang so command. And actually, I'm just going to remove bang so because that one is from Twitch Guru. Or maybe I left it in there so that I can make my own kind of Twitch clip shout out as well, similar to Twitch Guru. There's so many things that happens on Irish John's stream that is just, it catches on. It's really easy to just mimic and want to keep doing it like true, true woo woo. That's your thing. I don't want it. You can keep that. All yours. Guru, like kangaroo. Guru. Oh my goodness. Okay, did I not reopen financial management app? No, I'm not stalling because I don't want to write tests. Oh man. As soon as I get the hang of it though, I'm gonna be okay with writing tests and we're gonna have a good time doing it. But right now it's like I don't want to learn this area because I feel like if I learn tests, then I won't have room in my brain to keep increasing my skill in Blazor. I like guru. Let's keep that. You are tested, Disco. I think I still have a bang test, do I? Nope. I even turned that off. Jeez. Notepad. Come over here, Notepad. Save. Notes, no notes, no notes. Stream ideas. Commands. Rubber ducky command. Word of the day, man, that would probably be the easiest one to add. I really need to add that. Yeah, we talked about that. It was your recommendation. And I have it here. I have it here. Oh yeah, so Automated Realms is the name of the bot. It's also the name of my company that I'm not doing anything with. No, it did not. Or wait, good question. Can I see whispers in my bot? Ooh. I really don't know. I don't know if I want to have that because I don't remember if I um, still have all of my debug stuff turned on for how I'm connected, and here's my key. Just find the username. Got a chat from viewer. Got a chat event from viewer. Where's my chat message? Oh, there's Guru. So how long after Guru did you whisper? Because I want to know if it actually gets chat messages. But maybe I'm just not echoing whispers. Sorry, whispers is what I meant. Who wrote this? Someone should give sub at Automated Realm, so helpful. I don't remember seeing that. Dukasoft? Digasoft? When did you write that? Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, I'm so blind. I missed that. Okay, so very shortly after. Okay, so here is got a chat event from Jim saying guru, kangaroo, and then got a chat event from viewer. Private message #11lion :guru. Is that what you wrote? No, that is not what you wrote. Dang. Oh wait, that's me writing it. What? Why is that still showing as a private message though? But no, I don't think that I'm able to, or that I'm listening for whispers, or that I know how to get whispers with the bot. What is this? What? Where are these messages coming from? I wrote bang help and hello. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. There's Dukasoft saying write your own tests. It's so weird because they're coming through as, and it's going to be hard to see this, but private message, and then I'm assuming this #1line is channel 11lion, and then the message itself. There's who is automated realms. There's bang test from me, Disco, Dukasoft, me, Jim. Yeah, guru. So it would be between this message and this message that I would have gotten the whisper. Yeah, there it goes. So it just gave you massage peen. I wonder if it was maybe misspelt. But then why did automated realms message you back? I don't know. I didn't get the whispers either. I wonder if you are typing the whisper incorrectly. Does this whisper? Please use the whisper window for whispers. I don't know how to do that. Whisper. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Automated realms, can we whisper you? It's not that it needs some maintenance, it's that it needs to be implemented. Oh, okay. I got some whispers here. Yes. How do I whisper automated realms? Just a whisper. All right, so let's watch this to see if we get a message come in. That is a whisper. Yes. Yes, we did. So I don't think you're doing whisper correctly. To automated realms, at least. Even old Unix logs responds to help. Not allowed. So I'm not working on the bot during the stream. You can't make me. Although I really want to get away from writing these tests, I want to learn how to do testing and TDD. So I'm not going to distract myself too much with that. And I don't have time. I don't want to use time outside of stream to work on stream related things outside of work time, because I have too many other things that I'm interested in doing. You know? So let's get physical. Let's see if this freezes on me. It didn't. DB context. That's what I'll call it. No, we'll call it DB connection. And we'll do server equals local DB, MS SQL, local DB, database equals, I don't remember, finan. I'm going to do finan real quick. Trusted connection true, multiple active results set. So let's see what I called this database in our migrations project. The bot needs test as well. You are correct. So we may as well learn the bots, learn the bots so we can write the tests. We named it the database. Finan Man. Consistency for the win. Okay, so manage user cigarettes. So you guys are allowed to see my user secrets because there isn't really anything magical special. Connection strings. Default connection. And server equals this computer. Whoops. Ng SQL instance. Finan Man. So normally you wouldn't want to show your secrets, and that's why I have this fantastic extension written by Thindle that is called Don't Dox Yourself. And so if I happen to open my user secrets or anything else that is JSON, XML, or YAML, it will mask all of the values. System SC3 with a fantastic comment. I was lurking, just chatting. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Twitch, there is a category of streamers called just chatting, and usually the people that use just chatting are hot tub streamers, and well, not usually. There are a lot of streamers that stream that kind of content. So anyway, systems comment was, I was just lurking, just chatting, and holy crap, there are too many cam girls. I got tired of scrolling. Wait, more commas. We're missing some commas here. I got tired of scrolling guys. Lols. Who knows where to put the comma in that? Tukasoft said, bang so. Findle. You can't do clip shoutouts, but I think you might be able to do regular shoutouts. Give it a shot. So bang shoutout. Oh yeah, I will. I know what you meant. It was just commas, man. Commas, comma, man. Commas save lives. Let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma. Okay, so Jim said, okay, I can take a hint. I need to have my own timeout outside lunch and walk. Thanks for the fun rabbit trails and stream and chat. Bye for now. Cheers. Best wishes for your studies test and interview process. Kind regards. Awesome. You're such an amazing person. Thank you for being here. Really enjoy having you around. So feel free to come back by anytime for as long as you feel like it. Live coding is here. Hello, live coding. Y'all, I will evict myself from the Blazor channel in Discord. Mission accomplished. So, no, completely okay. You used the channel really, really well. You documented your process in creating that key grabber, key crawler. You documented it. We got to cheer you on. I wasn't very active in cheering you on, but I was cheering you on. Congratulations in doing it. I just finished watching Transcendence with Johnny Depp. I love that movie. That was a great movie. And I thought it was a really good movie, and then I looked up the reviews. Yeah, isn't it surprising? I really enjoyed that movie, and it got pretty bad reviews. The technical term is button McClicker. Got it. Tugasov just did it. So he tried bang shout out and automated realms didn't let him do it. So he's just like, hey guys, check out Bendel. He's amazing. I win. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That'll get fixed. It'll be good. We'll have a bot that works eventually. So anyway, this secrets file is going to be the same secrets file that I use for my Blazor server project, so that it can take the same database connection string and everything like that, and I don't have to rewrite it. My app settings is going to take this. Copy. Oh. Pasta. Okay, so that will allow my database connections to be created here. Not created, configured here. Builder, services, setup DB contexts, control dot, control C, Blazor server, or Blazor WebAssemblies hosted API gets one. Setup DB con. Oh, right, you guys are missing the configuration as well. So I might need to use configuration elsewhere, so I'll go ahead and store it in a variable, which would be builder.configuration. And we'll pass that in here. Ops, I missed. Same thing here. Too lazy. Pasta. Cool. All right, so that'll give us our DB context factory. I guess if we wanted to, we could also set it up to where we can provide a DB context directly. Kind of don't want to do that. So system is like, why didn't Gandalf just fly his griffin with Frodo over Mount Doom and drop his ass in the mountain with the ring? Boom. Done. Seriously. The answer is because they wouldn't have had a story. Don't give me any of that crap about it was about the journey. No, it's not about the journey. It's about having a story that you can sell to people. And hello, Booker. Booker? How do you pronounce it? Welcome to the Daily Code Fun, where we are distracting ourselves so we don't have to write tests. Lies, I want to learn how to write tests. I want to learn how to mock databases first. So what this should do for us is allow us to dependency inject a DB context factory into a service. For example, here, we can inject DB context factory. And with that DB context factory, so, ooh, live coding says I have strongest takes about mocking databases. So I know that there are libraries out there that we can use, but I am using Entity Framework. So the thing that I had in mind up front, and definitely feel free to give me your take, is having my DB here that I am, sorry, that I'm preparing for dependency injection. I would use essentially the same setup that I did here, services dot add whatever it is that I need to add for my DB context factory. So in this case, it would be services dot add DB context factory finan man context options arrows. And so what live coding is saying is a pretty good, it might not cover everything that we need, but it's pretty good, is to use in-memory database. And is it done like this? I'm not exactly sure how to do in-memory database. Do we just say new in-memory database? So I'm thinking we just provide an instantiated whatever to get our in-memory database. We'll have some kind of external helper that will populate the data for our in-memory database once when we write all of our tests. And then that's what we'll provide here for our DB context factory. Or is it actually called an in-memory store? Ooh. Okay. And how do we configure it? I've never done EF. It's true, and I know the theory. Anyway, spin up an in-memory database singleton somehow and look around for how to easily clear out the DB between tests if needed. Yeah, I like this approach. So that is kind of what I was thinking, is we have some kind of helper that sets up our in-memory database for us, pre-populates the data that we need for our tests, and then resets it in between tests so that it's at an expected state, and then each test will run with its own independent in-memory store, essentially. Let's do data mock helpers. I'm going to assume it's going to be a static class, and that way I can just perform operations on my database context itself. So I would have something like dbcontext.prepare data and dbcontext.clear data. Dang it, man. This makes it really hard. Oh, man. So I found a good example project that does this type of testing that I can point you to. I'll take it. But everyone has the same basic problems, keeping it as real as possible, seed data and lookup tables, and make it easy to spin up a lot of realistic test data. Yep. And we're going to run into that because we want a whole bunch of pre-populated transactions happening that have various accounts. And so for single user, this is going to be relatively easy because I don't need to distinguish the account and associate it with the user, so you only get your specific user's accounts. For now, we're just treating this as everything in this database belongs to the person that's running the application. And there is no multi-user, yeah, I'm going to call it multi-user instead of multi-tenant. Awesome. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm going to suck at this. Alex? Alex? Thank you for being here. Really appreciate seeing you. Welcome to the Daily Code Fun, where we have fun on a daily basis with code. What? That is a lame tagline? So I don't know about you guys, but I have fun. I really, really enjoy software. Oh, live coding, live coding. So I have not a message, a thing that you would be proud of because you warned me about it. But Sajetti pulled me into another effort, and the way that it happened was, so here's this thing that we would like your advice on. Maybe you can give us, just your take, since we like using that phrase. What is your take on this? And suddenly I am slotted for a lead position for potentially working with Angular, Java, Spring, all of these technologies that I'm wholly unfamiliar with, and potentially helping with tier 2 support. And it's like, I would like to do .NET web development full stack and put on projects. I would like to stay on the project that I'm currently doing, which is essentially a full stack web development project. We'll see what happens with that. So Dukasoft is saying, add DB context versus add DB context factory. Should I change the default code to context factory? The recommendation is to use factories wherever possible. The reason for that is because you save resources and you have warm starts for a lot of your stuff, because you'll have a recently used DB context factory that can be used somewhere else, instead of holding a DB context factory in memory for too long. So if you try to do it as like too many operations on the same DB context, more than one operation at the same time on a DB context is going to cause errors. So you use a context factory to get a new context per unit, or what are they called? What is the name that you give for a segment of code that affects one? Unit's the only word that I can come up with, but I don't think that that's the word that I'm looking for. Like if you wrap a section of code in a transaction, that is called a... whatever it's called. I can't think of the term right now. Yeah, it's still unit of work. That's probably the easiest thing to call it. One unit of work. But there's another word that I just can't think of that's more indicative. Terrible. Don't use that phrase. Blockworks. They all work. It's never going to be the word that I'm looking for until it is. So DB Context Factory allows you to pretty much say, when I need a new DB context, then go to the factory, find out if there's one available for me to use that's already been initialized and it has everything ready and it's not in use. Give me that. Otherwise, give me a new one. And so you'll create less DB context. Plus, let's say that you dependency injected DB context, and this is an example that I come up with often, which I never reopened the app to give this thing. I wouldn't say it's always better, but the recommendation, so hello Pedro, the recommendation is to use factories. So everything, that's a tough statement for me to say. Everything is subjective, and everything is depending on the scenario that you're using it in. So let's say that in this service here, instead of dependency injecting a DB context factory, I dependency injected the DB context. Oh, which would just be the context itself. And I only used the DB context in certain cases. So the very first thing that I would do for a save, for example, is validate the model that's trying to be saved. If the model is invalid, then we early exit. We return model is invalid, don't do anything. Otherwise, we begin our DB context work. So create a new or get an instance of the DB context, surround it in a transaction or an execution strategy, and then do the work, and then finish everything off, and then dispose the DB context. So if I injected the context, then every single time that we call this endpoint, we're creating a new DB context, even if we're not going to use the DB context. So imagine that this is an endpoint that 1,000 users call a minute or something. Then you're getting 1,000 DB contexts that maybe 30% of them are used, or maybe 80%, who knows. But when using a DB context factory, then you can say, here's my logic for validating the model. If the model is invalid, then return early. Otherwise, get a new context. And then do all of your work here. Database, begin transaction, and then do all of your work for creating a new database entity, add it to the database, get back the new ID, put that in a response model, send that back as your response, dispose the context. So you only get a DB context when it's actually used, and you can also reuse existing resources. Aw, can you see it? I don't know if you can see this. It's probably going to cut it off. Oh, no, I wanted to see it. Anyway, there was a cat. There was a cat on my phone. So that's my recommendation for DB context, which is to use it often, and then evaluate your specific scenario if it is appropriate to use DB context, or just new up a new context every time. Like getters. Getters almost always use a new DB context. Awesome. I'm glad that was very clear. If you have maybe a service that's only full of getters, and you know that no matter what endpoint you call, you're going to use the same DB context, then you could do add scoped. But in an API, add scoped is just as good as add transient for a DB context, because API is stateless, and so it, like when you make a request to the API, it's not keeping track of your session. So you're essentially getting a new DB context every single time you call that endpoint or use that service. But if you're using something like Blazor Server, then add scoped would keep reusing the same DB context. One thing that you would want to be wary of is having multiple calls to the same class. So let's say this was just a transaction getter service that has get deposit, get transfer, and get whatever a third one is, payment history and stuff like that. And we try to get all three of them at the same time, but there's only one DB context. Then we're going to have an issue where it says multiple, what is the entity framework? Error. Multiple requests. Error. I can't think of the name of the errors. Invalid operation. A second operation was started on this context before a previous operation was completed. Multiple people at the same coffee machine trying to get coffee. Exactly, Tukasoft. It's the same coffee machine, but it can only fill one cup at a time. Unless it's a really cool little espresso multi coffee thing. Anyway, so we didn't get very far, mostly because I was purposefully stalling and accidentally stalling. But we will pick this up tomorrow. We will mock this database. I really like the approach that live coding said. If you have the chance live coding and feel like it, can you please provide the reference to the thing that uses this pattern of making an in-memory store database, and then seed the data, reset the data. Just send that maybe in resources in Discord or wherever you feel like it. But if not, we'll just look it up ourselves. I definitely don't want you to have to go out of your way to find it if it's hard to get to or if it's not easily available. But otherwise, I am going to stop here for the day so that I can prepare all of my questions, go through the mental checklist of the things that I'm going to ask during this interview. And once again, I'm not the one that is being interviewed. I am doing the interviewing. So it's going to be fun. And yeah, definitely check out live coding as well. He streams on occasion. And I think I told you guys about Captain Commerce already. Yeah, I did. Check out live coding streams. Check out Captain Commerce's stream. He streamed last night for a really, really long time. Looks like you got a lot done. You were doing a lot in Blazor still. I love that you're working in Blazor. Good times. I love Blazor so much. And I hope the rest of you, and anyone that I didn't shout out, let me know if you're a streamer and I don't know that you're a streamer, or if I just overlooked shouting you out. But my shout outs are pretty lame. They're just, hey, check out their channel. One day I will have a way for you to add your own shout out message so that we can just type it in and shout you out. Captain Comer says, yeah, Blazor is fun. One of these days I'll figure out the proper way of doing it. Just keep having fun. Yeah, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Cam Commerce, Duke of Soft, Irish John Games, Pedro Lopez. Oh man, it's so much fun saying Hispanic names. Live coding, Abidus. I didn't actually say hello to Abidus when he came in. Oh my goodness, what a jerk. I'm a jerk. System, thank you for landing here after your tired clicking. And Boucaire. You never told me how to pronounce your name, but welcome in. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Oh, Jim's already gone, but thank you anyway for being here. Tukasoft. I don't know if I already said your name, but thank you. Thank you all for being here. Hope you come again. I'll be here again tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is UTC -6. If you're not sure what time it is for me, bang, UTC will tell you. And War 2R, thank you so much for being here. All right. Ciao for now. I'll talk to you again in the future. Cheers. Shalom. Bye. Waves. Camera. Voice.